that entrance. For it to finish up with some guitar solo or something like that, some guitar solo, and all of a sudden just cuts.
Boom. There we go. Yeah, I was like, I hit something. I hit a button. You disappeared. I'm like, where the fuck did he go? Okay.
Were you hearing me?
Yeah, no, I can hear you just fine.
Okay.
Your picture, your screen wasn't up for a second. You were here. We're all here. Welcome to Monday evening, everybody.
Hello.
The Resoluters. Hello.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah. So, welcome to the Resoluters. Happy Monday, everyone. It is season 2, episode 8, Hazy, Shade of Winter. Good evening to you, my hetero life mate, Jedi Master Koi. What
Good evening to you,
is
sir.
the word?
The bird is the word, last I heard.
No shit! Jesus Christ, I haven't even started doing any cocaine or anything yet. Fuck. Reggie says hello, everyone.
Hello, Reggie.
All right.
And I got me some
It's fucking weird right out of the gate. Let's do it.
Aquafina says hello.
Oh, absolutely. I got my I got that too. I'm double fisted tonight. But yeah, here we are, the Resoluters. We are in episode 8, season 2 for our 90-day body transformation challenge. Thank you to everyone for watching from home and for being a part of the Resoluters group on Facebook. We are glad to have you here as Jeff and I embark on essentially our weight loss journey part 2. Season 1, we imparted on our first attempt through this process and dropped 20 pounds or so each, bunch of inches off of the different clothing we're wearing and so on and so forth. And now here we are. That was the beginning of 2022. Now we've wrapped up the end of 2022 into 2023 in true Resoluter fashion. To get each other back on being healthy in all the ways we can imagine possible. So that is our shtick. So what's the updates, dude? How are you? What's been going on?
Doing well, man. Doing well. Just I went to Riverside today and did a nice little stint at Riverside to learn how to be a education coordinator, because it looks like I'm going to be the education coordinator for all of San Diego, for all new hires for Pepsi, running all the onboarding there and writing all the classes.
Nice, dude.
Yeah, dude. Good times.
Congrats. I dig training and development. That's something that I've always had a heart for in my side of work life too. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Conveniently enough, that translates to this kind of stuff. Credibility factors, just to throw it out for those of you who may be watching for the first time. Jeff and I, in the good old days, have both successfully completed body transformations in the past. I think I've undergone 3, losing 35 to 80 pounds in each instance over a 3-month period of time. Jeff made also his massive transformation as being a part of the Marine Corps. So we're both looking at situations of adding significant amounts of muscle mass while dropping large amounts of fat. So we're on track to do it again. Bum, bum, bum. I can tell you, man, I was able to wear some new clothes this week. Just to be able to, I know you and I were texting, I guess last week, that I was able to get into those black jeans that were my goal weight kind of things for the mid-mark. So I feel good accomplishing that. Tailored suit jackets are back in circulation for work. Mm-hmm. I kind of feel like these jackets now that I haven't really worn them comfortably for a couple of years. The fact that I can button them is great. But I'm feeling kind of snug in the shoulders. I think the weight training, I think I'm just going to fucking toss these and get 2 jackets because now it fits around the middle and not on the flattering parts. They're like, I'm starting to lose weight and I'm still a fat guy in a little suit. So it's just...
Funny you should mention that, because that's what's happening to me. I'm starting to see weight loss in my midsection, but the hernia is not going down. Mm-hmm. So it's still looking fat, but fat in a weird way. Like I'm looking like I'm getting pregnant or something like that. So I'm still wearing the loose clothing, but it is fitting more loosely as well. I don't know if I said this last week, my Charger shorts. Did I talk about my Charger shorts?
Didn't talk about your Charger shorts.
I wear my Charger shorts religiously, and I haven't changed the tie on them. I haven't untied them or tied them. I just slip them on and off. Sure. And I put them on, and I noticed they're not fitting as well. They're sliding off of me.
Yeah, there you go, bud.
Yeah, my butt, I don't have a butt anyway, but they're starting to slide off even more. And it's like, I had actually fixed the string on it. And it was
good for you. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I got the same thing. we were talking about the suit stuff, and it's like when I came home from work yesterday. Usually, you come home from work, and I got the tie and the whole deal and everything from being all formal at work. And I came home and just the jacket, and I was just like, I was still so comfortable in just my clothes from work that I was like, kick it wearing this. I did like, usually you come home, you fucking get this shit off of me, and you want to, get into your gym shorts or whatever. And I was like, that's because this shit's comfortable. Like it's fitting the way it was intended to fit, versus being painted on in any capacity or whatever. So these are definitely good signs. And then for me, as far as validation for like sincere results, I like this kind of stuff better than jumping on and off a scale and evaluating the I have water retention today because I didn't have enough water yesterday, or I had something that had reacted with me in my system in a certain way. So pretty fucking cool. I dig it. So even this T-shirt, which I think I've been able to wear for a few weeks now, I might have wore this on one of the episodes this season, but just the fact that I couldn't walk around wearing this and feeling okay. So I dig it. I dig it. I actually saw this band with Ray Clark. We went to see Ministry when I first moved here to the good old Houston, Texas.
Bless you.
We got a little fuckered up at that show.
I believe it.
Little bits of it. But good times all the way around.
Yes, sir.
All right, so let's get into some questions. We have questions from our viewers we got to jump into.
Love it.
All right. So number one, I have actually this from my brother. This is from Jim Kretovics in the great state of Texas. He says, "What is a good stretch for your shoulders?" And those of us that stress out and carry that stress up there, or if you've been doing a solid weight training routine that impacts on your shoulders, I've rediscovered a stretch recently that I really enjoy, which is the shoulder hangs. I hadn't done that for a while, and I got to tell you, it's immensely therapeutic.
Do those daily.
Dude, absolutely. I used to, like back in the day, and I don't have like something I can shoulder hang off of in my apartment, right? So I have to remind myself when I'm in the gym to do that before I leave. But any of those machines that have the capacity for you to put your arms up and then hang and just let gravity do its work and stretch out those shoulder blades and neck muscles and all those kinds of things, that's my number one.
That's it, brother.
Hang for the shoulders.
Dig it.
Over to you, buddy. Do you got something?
Yeah, well, the shoulder hang is the best one for me. I mean, really, that's the one that gets me the most bang for my buck as far as stretching out my shoulders. I really can't think of anything else where you're not actually lifting weights besides just hanging off a bar and stretching. I mean,
yeah. There's one, I guess, as far as an alternative of when you don't have that and you cross your wrists and stretch like this. Like, for example, if you were to bend over and grab a counter with your arms stretched like this.
Sense. Yeah.
You're essentially reenacting what's going on with your shoulder hang. And then inversely, if you do it straight grip like this versus crossing that way, it's a good stretch for your back.
Not good to know.
So,
like that.
As soon as you started talking, I just remembered that one too. So that one in there. All right, so we're making some progress here.
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you have something to throw out?
I got a question. I got a question that came in from a long-time listener, first-time writer. This is from my girlfriend, Michelle Kunkel.
Greetings,
hi,
Michelle.
Hello, Michelle. Thanks for writing. She says, babe, you're looking really sexy, but we need to try something besides walking. What other low-impact exercises do you suggest we do? Well, that's a great question, hon. So we do a lot of walking. We're walking around looking at things. And if you want to spice it up a little bit, some other low-impact exercises we could do would be cycling. We could go out for a bike ride and just kind of see the sights. We could do some swimming. There's an indoor pool at the gym or something like that. Or if it's warm outside, you could do some swimming. Great cardio, great exercise, low impact, but it gets you fit on that. Rowing, if you have access to a rowing machine or some rope or something like that, we could do some rowing. Yoga.
Yeah, the best.
Yeah. Yoga's always good. We can learn some new yoga moves. And then stretching, some low impact stretching would be, more of a cardio type stretching, like jumping jacks, burpees, mountain climbers, that type of stuff we could do. But that's all low impact exercises.
Man, yeah, mountain climbers and rowing if you can crank those up, and those can be pretty intense. I think over the scope of doing different workout routines, I think rowing has probably been my all-time favorite for cardio because you get full body engagement, um, and it is even considered superior to running on a treadmill as far as numbers of calories burned on your optimal heart rate and that kind of stuff because of the activity there. Um, just like for me, and just to make a point at home that we're talking about low impact on this show because Jeff mentioned or intimated a second ago regarding that he has a hernia. So part of his body transformation is to lead him up towards his surgery he'll be having after we complete this circuit to get him back to more optimal health. And I've recovered from a lower back injury that I had some years back. So, and then mine is kind of catered to support that. But I'm at a point where I can do more high impact things now. So thus, we're going to go back and forth. You'll hear this quite a bit as y'all tune in. But yeah, I love it, man. I love it. And the cycling is great. And I recommend that anyone getting into a high intensity interval routine or doing cardio, as you're kind of cutting your teeth on getting back into doing cardio, if say you're doing the elliptical or if you were doing rowing or if you're on a treadmill and so on, and it begins to get a little taxing, but you still got gas in your tank, but you're starting to feel a little sore. It's going to be a little bit too much. It's a good transition to maybe start out with your high intensity interval routine with one certain cardio and then switching over to the cycling. Because the cycling is lower impact and give yourself a breather while continuing to burn calories.
Love it, bro.
So, yeah, big fan. Good job. Good question.
Good question. Thanks, hon.
I got from Santana alumni from Miss Heather Ryan. We have a question which is, what is a good exercise for lower abs? So lower abs, number one for me, hip raises. Almost like push-ups for your lower body. You can do those in lesser or greater degrees depending upon your overall strength in your lower body and in your back. But hip raises, I think, are number one. Planks apply to everything for total core work. And then one that I feel is undermentioned is vacuums. You've never done a vacuum. Essentially, you're going to stand straight with your back against a wall, put your hands behind your head, and the vacuum is where you pull your diaphragm and your abs all the way back. Like if you could visualize your ab muscles being pulled back to your spine.
Interesting.
So you're going to be emptying the air out of that, out of your lungs, that kind of stuff. And as you exhale and push that air out, you're pulling your abs back in towards your spine, and that will draw that strength to your lower core as everything is pulled up and under your rib cage. So the thinner you get, this can look kind of weird because like once you're in one of those optimal conditioning kind of things, your stomach does suck up into your rib cage as you develop this skill set. It will strengthen all those core muscles. I think it's a great resource for lower back strength as well. But yeah. Hip raises,
leg lifts.
Vacuum. Yeah. Inversely, no. Doesn't mean go back in the house for a lower ab exercise. No, doesn't mean that. No. Oh, she sucked it down like Hoover. No, I don't know why I'm saying that. I just think but it was in there.
It was there. You
needed
to say it.
So bad. All right, man. You got one to drop?
No, I'm good. That was it.
You're good? Okay, so next for my daughter, Kaya Jeski. She's the foodie of my three daughters. She's like, what is the best flour for making pasta? To get everyone on that, or at least to be aware. Grains, bread, so on and so forth can be a challenge to put into your diet when you're trying to lose weight. Genetically modified flour, which is almost all of it grown here in the United States, unless it's certified otherwise, can be a real challenge with water retention and different dietary restrictions. I have a sensitivity to genetically modified wheat. But there is a wonderful brand called Cabuto, which is Cabuto. A lot of high-end restaurants may use this if they're making pasta by hand. This is a very popular flour that's used overseas in Italy to make pasta, and it is not genetically modified. So that would be the flour to get it dialed in. I've noticed as well on my diet, I don't have a lot of pasta in my week, but when I do, I'll have that brand of flour that's used in making the pasta, and I don't suffer any negative effects like I had in the past, whether it's water retention or bloating or whatever.
Dig it. Dig it. Caputo.
All right, next from Resoluter William Welch. William is a wine connoisseur and educator the world around. He spent a long time getting educated on wine in the Burgundy region of France. Um, and he's also a CrossFit instructor. Him and his wife, Destiny Welch, are members of the Resoluters. So his question is, what wine is less likely to give you a hangover?
Ooh, excellent question.
Which is valuable education here. And I think a lot of the women that I've met in the world, they tend to gravitate towards white wine before men, and I think it is motivated by this. It's easier on your body. So you take sulfites out of the situation with white wine. You take oak out of the situation with a lot of white wine, and it's going to have its lower calorie content as well. So less sugar, less sulfites, and then ultimately, we talk about calories, sugar, sulfites. So those three things. It's going to be easier on your body. It's not going to dehydrate you as much. So I think red wine on average is, if I remember correctly, there's a difference of 10 calories between red and white wine in general. Keeping in mind as well, the higher alcohol content in your wine, the more likely the winemaker has added sugar in some way, shape, or form to offset that flavor of alcohol, which then contributes to a headache. There is nothing like red Zinfandel in the morning. Oh, no, don't do it. Oh, it's a mess. So I would say white wines from Italy, especially northern Italy. They're leaner, most likely not to be oaked and to be of a normal alcohol content. And then I love Sancerre, some Sauvignon Blanc from France, in the Loire Valley. I think in particular tastes fantastic and can get you into that direction.
What about champagne?
Champagne,
White wine,
again,
but a little bit.
that can vary depending upon which grapes are used to make champagne. There's a few different grapes. And there is some champagnes that are on the drier side, which in some way, shape, or form, it'll say no dosage on the wine because there is a compound of or mixture of sugar that is used to balance flavors within champagne. No dosage, which is called dosage. If there's no dosage, that means there's no sugar added to the wine at all. Stylistically, that's the dry flavors of almonds, as well as to have that dry, crisp kind of citrus element going on in there. So that being said, I think 100% Chardonnay, which you can see is going to be called Blanc de Blanc, on your champagne. It's going to give you a better opportunity there. And the no dosage wine, so
no dosage.
drier and cleaner. Likewise, there is Franciacorta, which is a style of sparkling wine, which is made from Chardonnay from Italy, which is made in the exact same method as they used to make champagne.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
You can get some killer Franciacorta, like at a quality level that's like up here, but you won't be paying the price like you would for some champagnes that are touting that they're really good as well because it's not called champagne. So that's part of the marketing element of champagne. So you can get some good wine, save a few bucks.
That's what I'm talking about.
Absolutely. Excuse me. All right. My last question that I have is from a new viewer, another Santana alumni, Mr. Nasser Helwa.
Nasser Allah.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to give a tip of the hat to Nasser. He has a fantastic writing project that's been working on lately that he's been sharing online.
250 words.
Boom, you nailed it. You know exactly what I'm talking about. So that's a lot of fun. And I know he shared with me some short stories that he's written over the years. So very talented. Great job, Nasser. Yeah. Keep up all the good work.
Excellent.
His question is rather, what are your thoughts on MCT oil? MCT oil is essentially a liquid fat. Ideally, I recommend it for adding to your coffee or if you want to add to a protein shake. I like it for the reason that if you add it to your coffee, for example, in the morning, it has an effect of kind of satiates you. In a similar fashion, when we talked about doing cleanses, if you did, like we talked about doing a water fast, for example, and one of the things that can satiate you for quite a bit is coconut oil. Mm-hmm. So if you just have like a teaspoon of coconut oil, that can tide you over for a bit. And MCT oil can do the same thing. I think it tastes great in coffee.
Perfect.
So I think it's a good way to go. Yeah.
Dig it.
Yeah, that's what I got. Coconut oil and coffee. Hard pass. Not a big fan. Fucking coconut coffee.
You know I love me some coconut oil.
All over. No, okay.
I love it.
Oh, man. Okay. Let's get oiled up and go for a bike ride on the
Do
beach.
it, buddy. Let's do some low impact.
Absolutely. Let's get that. Dude, we should get that 2-seater bike.
Yeah.
That'll be good.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Absolutely. A few shout outs here for the Resoluters that are keeping it real. Thank you again to Seth. Good job, buddy. Thank you for keeping up that motivation and getting those workouts in.
Love it.
Likewise for Rebecca, you fucking savage. And then
both of them.
I don't know if you had an opportunity to see Sarah's before and after pictures. She just posted them today.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Wasn't thinking about posting them tonight in the group because I literally just saw them this evening while I was at work. She has lost an incredible amount of weight. She was already in really good shape prior to starting this, and now she's just going for the ultimate lean routine. And to the fact that I know she has, given a bit of testimony to you and I via the group and that kind of stuff about the water system that she uses and how pure sources of water, has been a key element to her success for health and a part of her fitness. She actually did her own first live stream with another trainer that's working with on her. I think is it Hard 75 was the routine that she was working on. I think she shared in the group a little bit.
Yeah.
So they had their own live stream on Instagram over this past week as well. So
good for her. Yeah,
excuse me. Yeah. So it's all coming together. Everybody's putting in some work,
yes, sir.
which is fantastic.
I love it.
All right. I think we're going to start talking about some eats, baby.
Yes, sir.
We're going to talk about some food.
Yeah.
What were you working on? You were cooking when I got a hold of you earlier today.
Yeah.
Literally, you were at that moment. So what were you working on?
I was cooking that orange chicken recipe that I popped up there on the feed last week.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, I tried it out, decided to make it as good as possible. Didn't realize it was only for 300 grams of chicken, so I took a guess at how much I was supposed to add on everything because I didn't do the conversion factor of grams to ounces to pounds or any of that stuff. Yeah. So for me, it was meh. I mean, the chicken came out great. The orange chicken sauce on top of it, I added too much orange juice. It was orange, and
like
my daughter loved it. She thought it was delicious. She gave me 2 thumbs up, 2.5 thumbs up. She said she had thirds on it. She was like, "This is so good."
Nice.
I said portion control, but other than that, it was a compliment. And my son spit it in the trash can. It said it's the worst thing he's ever had in his life. So 3 different reviews on it.
That's awesome.
3 different reviews, and I put up another recipe. So give it a whirl. Don't take my word for it, because again, we got 3 different. I was either way. Stephanie loved it. Connor hated it, so no real review on it. Try it yourself and tell me what you think. I put up another recipe on there this evening. Check it out. It's basically lettuce wraps from P.F. Chang's. How to make your own lettuce wraps.
Dude, absolutely. Talk about a moneymaker. I started my career way back in the Stone Ages working for P.F. Chang's and went through a couple months of training to be a chef before starting to manage there. And dude, that shit is highway robbery. I'm going to tell you right now.
It's so easy to make. I'm looking at it going, that's it?
It's delicious, but it's dude, I can't remember how much they charge for that shit though, but it only cost back then like 90 cents to make that.
It's crazy.
I
think that's going to be next week's triumph. We're going to make it happen.
Dude, I'm down. I'm going to see it. Hear all about
it.
Yeah. For me, targeting the body type book that I got into prior to the last podcast at the Indo-Mesomorph body style. I did some meal prep, which I just finally finished the last portion that I had prepared out last night, which I enjoyed, which was a baked barbecue chicken with pan-seared onion, and I served that over a brown rice. So brown rice was about a fist, likewise with now chicken portion. the onions, for flavor. And then a couple of the dishes I actually worked in to balance the fat and protein balance, some organic bacon, just to get that little rich. Don't want to do too many processed meats as far as leading to inflammation and challenges, in general for digestion, but a little bit of bacon doesn't hurt. So I did that with some Kraft barbecue sauce. Not too much. Again, they don't want to be like I covered it in ketchup kind of shit to get that sugar quality. And then top some sriracha over the top. But low impact, very easy to make. Baked off all the chickens at the same time. Have a little rice cooker, put all the rice together at one shot. Grilled off the onions while I wait for the chicken to finish off. And you get these great little glass Pyrex dishes that they might be $28 for the pack or something like that at Costco.
Mm-hmm.
Load them up, pack them, put them in the fridge.
I love those Pyrex dishes. You do get them at Costco.
Dude,
I've got them. They're the greatest.
Awesome. And yeah, I agree. The key element for me with this is there's a little trick that I learned that helped me is when I would do meal prep, especially with chicken, you put it in the fridge. Now, one, these dishes are great to keep it sealed. They're probably the best that I've, as far as overall experience of having it sealed, to prevent moisture from escaping the vessel or container. With that being said, when you bring it out, you're going to go microwave this thing to warm it up, right?
Mm-hmm.
You wrap this thing in a damp paper towel. So the towel is wrapped around your bowl plate or whatever you put into the microwave. So that steam comes off of that napkin when it's in there. Because there's nothing worse than dry chicken breast in the meal prep kit. That's
100%.
It's disgusting. All right.
Good stuff.
Sweet, man. Piggybacking off of, again, Mr. Jeffrey Adams and his nod to the Atkins diet a couple weeks ago, I like to keep plugging some whiskeys, give you an opportunity to have a little break at the end of the day kind of thing. Again, not doing cocktails where you're involving sweet vermouth or sweet mixers like sour mix and so on and so forth. One of the whiskeys that I've really enjoyed, it comes from Balvenie. Balvenie in particular, if you want to get super geeky, the Balvenie single barrel 21 year, I think is superstar they're working with from this producer. So I think we're in Scotchland here, but this is a mash bill that is just, dude, it makes my heart scream. It's so fucking great. So this is definitely a sipper that you could lean back with. And it is 47.8% alcohol. So again, not a lot of sugar, residual sugar on this, and just fucking aged to perfection.
That's perfect. I think I tried that one.
I'm going to tell you, getting into these scotches or whiskeys, whatever you want to call them, with these guys is a rabbit hole. But you can get most of these for anywhere from between like $45 to $120 a bottle, depending upon what it is. So it's not something you're going to pound. It is definitely something to savor and enjoy. Boom. Fantastic. They're really great. If anybody's in the industry, they have great resources as well. I've done a number of tasting events with them and educators, as in masters of whiskey, that tour the United States with the goal of hosting special events and that kind of thing. So anyone in the restaurant hotel industry, these guys are aces as far as collateral marketing material, educational support. Great experience for people.
I actually did one of those before. It was an amazing experience.
Oh, fantastic.
We did it at Hooley's over here in La Mesa.
Oh, I miss Hooley's, man. That's one of the few things spot. I miss about San Diego. I love that spot. Which
that's my spot. I went to both. Actually, I was there when they grand opened the one in Rancho San Diego back in 1998.
Wow.
And then, and then when they opened up the La Mesa one, it was closer to Santee, so we were there all the time.
Mm-hmm.
We grand opened that one too. So, but then they used to have a chef there named Chef Pete, and he offered classes on how to make some of the Hooley's dishes. And we learned how to make the white wine chicken boxty. We learned how to make corned beef tacos, and they actually had. They used to have beer club, and what beer club would be is they would bring in different breweries and they would pair it with a meal, and so we'd sit there and do that. And one time they brought in a whiskey, I guess a sommelier or whatever whiskey, and they paired different whiskeys and scotches with your meal, and it was amazing.
That's fucking badass. I love that
And they
shit.
give you a history on the whiskey and how it's made and why it pairs so well, and it was amazing. I loved it.
Oh, that's a good time. I haven't been able to do anything like that for a minute. It oversaw and directed a number of whiskey bars, and so those are kind of one of those fun things you get to do in an environment like that. That when you're running around a restaurant like we are now, we don't get a lot of opportunity for that.
Heck yeah.
Very cool. But dude, I love Dooley's. I used to live 5 minutes from Dooley's back in the early 2000s, and I was there all the time.
Oh yeah,
My spot. All right. Transitioning over to vitamins, herbs, and supplements. One of the things I wanted to discuss as far as things that can help as well is cortisol balance. I know we touched base on this in the last episode. That being said, cortisol can be your friend, but it's difficult. When you're looking at things that can aggravate cortisol, like things simply as stress, cortisol is a hormone that's within your body. It is the hormone that gets boosted when you're in a stressful situation. You can think of that, how that relates to a fight or flight response. That cortisol level goes up. And just like in a fight or flight response, if you were like in a caveman days, your body is preparing not to eat because you're being chased by a bear and you're, out in the wild like the animals that we are. And your body is retaining fat in your body to make sure that you have sustenance. So if you were in that fight or flight response element, your cortisol levels are elevated, regardless of how great your diet is or how great your workout routine is, you are going to have an incredibly difficult time losing weight. Now, number one thing that I had to adapt in my routine that was affecting me from cortisol levels was energy drinks. Likewise, or Diet Coke, and that's probably more common for most people, in that artificial sweetener base of aspartame and sucralose. Those chemicals throw out of whack the balance of cortisol and the microbacteria that's in your digestive tract. So then you need to cleanse yourself of those things, which, depending upon how invested you've been in drinking that kind of stuff, sometimes it takes 90 days. So I think I felt an immediate change after a few weeks, as far as how I felt things were going for me, not being on the energy drinks. But if you have a pretty bad situation, then probiotic routines, the kaffir limes, the items that we've been putting into the Super Shake, Jeff, is a great way to go to help reestablish the flora inside your digestive tract and contribute to healthier cortisol levels. But there's a supplement that I think is absolutely fantastic, which is called ashwagandha. I think ashwagandha is not quite the secret as it was maybe years ago. I get this one right here off of Amazon. But the great thing about ashwagandha is it helps you with cortisol balance. It helps you with muscle recovery in your workouts as well to give you a faster recovery period. It's great for thyroid health. It will give you a little bit of boost of energy. And then it specifically helps with stress management. So you get the best of all situations in regards to cortisol using ashwagandha. It will lift your mood a little bit too. Kind of in the vein, like if you think of like St. John's wort, they may suggest that as a herbal remedy for mild depression and that kind of stuff.
Interesting.
So this is awesome. The one I'm taking here is from Dr. Berg. I think it's a great product. It is combined with pepper to increase absorption rate. Dr. Berg is one of the doctors that I've posted his videos with in the group on Facebook, just because I think he has a lot of very useful information. And he, what do you call it? A line of products that he represents. And then he also recommends things that he doesn't produce as well from different producers. And then just to remind y'all, like for example, right here, I'm going to use my mouse to circle this area. If you see the little S Plus here on Amazon, when you're shopping, that's your reassurance that this is the best possible price on the internet if you're shopping with that optimizer that we discussed last time.
There it is.
From Capital One. So, not that we're getting paid from Capital One or Amazon, at least not yet. But just to help you all save some money and put your best foot forward.
What's in your wallet?
All right. Cash, baby. Okay. All right. Hey, get your Get rid of the debt. Get rid of it. And then lastly, something that's been very impactful for me that I'm trying to make a focus of right now. I think this is very helpful towards managing stress, which is I like to have a routine of prayer and meditation. I'm not selling any particular religion to anybody online tonight, but the idea of prayer, and even if it's just reflection on the things that you're grateful for in your life, I think gratitude goes a long way towards helping us maintain a positive, fresh perspective. And then as well to kind of remind us of ourselves of the things that we do have to be grateful for. Just to have that mindful moment each day. It helps me with stress and gives me a good start to the day. And then meditation is something that I have been invested in periodically at different times in my life, typically when I was focused more on martial arts training in the past. But that being said, again, meditation is, I think, a fantastic way to lower stress in your body. It's proven to work through the deep breathing exercises and so on and so forth. Right now, I was doing this where I was trying to have meditation and prayer be something I do at the end of my day. But when you work long hours and you work later in the evening, like Jeff and I do, adding something to your health wellness routine that's guaranteed to take place after 11 o'clock at night, not always the sharpest method as far as what I'm finding. So I'm switched that up. So I'm doing it first thing in the morning, and that's been a much more effective way to go for me. I remember back in the day when I was first doing a body transformation routine to keep myself as accountable as possible. Doing the workouts first thing when I got up in the morning was I think the fastest route to get myself consistent with a new habit. Turns out working out first thing when you get up in the morning before you've had your first meal is the most optimum way to facilitate weight loss. So I definitely recommend that for everybody as well. But get those things checked off your list when they're new habits right away. The first thing is you get up, so you just eliminate the chances that you're going to miss a step.
100%. I agree with you 100%. I know first thing I do when I wake up in the morning is I thank God. I believe in God. I thank God that, for another beautiful day and being alive and being able to take, and I thank Him for, my family and health and everything like that. But even if you don't believe in a higher power, just thank yourself. Be grateful that, you are where you are and you are who you are and you're here and you're with us, and just have that joy and confidence in yourself that today's a new day and I'm gonna go carpe diem and seize the day and
There you
be
go,
be
Rick.
thankful for what you got, man.
Carpe Diem, Dead Poet Society. And that's one of my all-time favorite movies. I fucking love that movie so much.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. All right, fitness training. I've had some great results as far as weight training improvements over the past week. I've been able to level up all of my weights this week by 10 pounds after this past essentially 30-day warm-up of essentially doing maintenance weight training. And now that I've shifted into lifting weights 3 times a week, I've taken that 90-minute workout and I've broken it up into essentially 3 one-hour workouts where I'm doing chest and tris one day with a cardio warm-up and then a high-intensity interval training finish as far as the weight training day. Day 2, I'm doing back, thighs, and shoulders. And then day 3 is leg day. But each of those days has, again, high intensity interval training on the tail end, and then with the warm-ups in the beginning. For those of you in the Resoluters group, I think Seth and myself have both been posting workouts that we're doing. Sarah's been great at posting some workouts that we're doing. The full program and things that Jeff and I have been working on are pinned to the top of the group. So that has the comprehensive everything in it in a photo format, so you can look at it easily through Facebook. I've just sectioned it off to make some tweaks for this new adaptation for this portion of my workout. But otherwise, everything we're doing, how and why are in there. And then I've started adding some visuals from a strength training anatomy book into the how-tos and some of the specific weight training routines that I'm doing. Because safety is definitely important. I want y'all to have you form sensitive and conscious of what you're doing, especially as you're all gaining momentum in your routines and you get more confident and more strong or more gaining strength. I want to make sure that you're not overextending yourself and that you're maintaining those forms, because form sensitivity is something to be aware of. Nothing like getting a bunch of results and then hurting yourself. It's awesome.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, man. All right. And we were talking about some low impact training stuff earlier, Jeff. Do you have any new stuff that you were working on besides what we were discussing in the question Q&A section?
Just mixing it up when I go walking. Sometimes I'll be doing push-ups. Sometimes I'll just stop and stretch and get a good stretch in. Maybe some yoga poses, some downward dog, some snake or something like that. Where I'm just getting a good stretch in. Um, that's pretty much it. And doing the
Wow,
walking.
snake pose, dude. I haven't heard that for a minute. Some OG poses right there. Everyone's got the downward dog, but snake is definitely something that's old school. That's awesome.
That's right, buddy.
So fantastic. And then let's see, we're going to be pretty caught up. We're going to get to talk about our musical guest in a minute because we have Mr. Franco Maganoli with us tonight, coming at us very Jack Johnson style with the ukulele.
Love it.
Franco's one of my best friends. He has just an endless repertoire, I think, of musical instruments that he's adept with. So he is classically a drummer. He's played in a lot of clubs, and he's current everywhere. He's just on fire when he goes to play. So this will be something definitely up the fun category for him. Trying to work on just also to keep myself focused and positive, kind of that light at the end of the tunnel kind of thing we were talking about. Like you had the fun trip to Disney World and so on.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to plan a next travel adventure for myself. I haven't left the country for a while. I think now that the world is starting to get back to some normalcy, there'll be some opportunities to do that. So I think I'm trying to figure out if the island of Sardinia in Italy or Portugal might be a fun wine journey for me to start targeting as far as some plans. So we can have some more fun wine conversations and then photo ops and that kind of stuff.
That'd be beautiful, man. If you hit up Portugal, don't forget to hit up Ibiza. Ibiza, for anybody who doesn't
Chris Pratt has that. He's got some comedy skit. I can't remember what SNL or something he was on. He makes fun of Ibiza. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
But for sure. All right. So I think we're getting close to the wrap here. And
Dig it, dude.
Here with you, Mr. Franco Maganoli, to close us out for the evening. But thank you to everyone for tuning in with us tonight. Yeah. We appreciate you. And we're gonna get things moving here. Tunage.
Dig it. Can't wait.
Yeah. Let's do it, babe.
What's up so far? This next song is called The Sand. Yes, I try. I really try to tell you just how I feel. And at times you gave a smile. You never took me for real. Now all I'm asking for you to just ignore. The past is where we've all been hurt before, and if you just took away all that words can say, just listen to what my heart is saying. Just listen. Listen to what my heart is saying. Just listen. Listen to what my heart is. Now I know you heard it all before, and now you shut the door on me. Even though I am gonna say a my heart is saying. Whoa, I said, listen to what my heart is saying. Saying, listen to what my heart is saying. Listen.
Good.
Bravo, dude. You were not lying about Jack Johnson there.
Dude, absolutely. And like, that's not even
Holy
his usual style of music. And he hasn't been a vocalist a lot. But he had an incredible range. He sent this over to me because we got together last week and we were talking about the show and so on. And he was just like, yeah, man, I got something. I got something. I got you. And
boy,
then,
that was amazing.
I mean, he's fantastic. There's a fun bar here in Houston called Darwin's Pub. And on Sunday evenings, they call it the Jumbo Jam, but it's at 9 o'clock on. It's open mic night, but it's the best crazy open mic night ever. It's all the musicians come into open mic as well. So it's not like one person singing karaoke or something. It's just a variety of different horns, drummers, guitarists, and it's all the great musicians that are here locally. And he goes in there and jams with these guys, and it's just a fucking blast. He's played with bands for 30 plus years, and like at a professional level. So it's fantastic. You get one of these guys like Franco that just puts something together for us like that. That's very in an intimate way, just kicking it with his ukulele and then crushes it. So
Hell yeah.
love it.
His dogs were loving it too, man.
Oh, I know. I was waiting. Like, did you see the back of the dog's head start to come up and the like just underneath the? I wanted him to turn around and just kind of nose the camera.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's what we got. So, Resoluters, we will see you next week, Monday night. Stay tuned to the Resoluters group for posts, etc., to hear all the new stuff. And thanks for being here, everybody. We appreciate you. Good luck on your channels.
We love you all, and hey, keep those comments coming.
Absolutely. Thanks, everyone.